Modern trawlers today have become powerful tools in the journey to conquer the sea. Especially in the process of catching mackerel, a fish species famous not only for its economic value but also for its difficulty to catch. In large sea areas, when the mackerel season comes, fishermen will carefully prepare for a long trip to sea. Modern trawlers are often large in size, equipped with GPS positioning systems, sonar fish finders and advanced communication equipment to help the crew easily locate the fish. When the radar signals a strong signal, the captain immediately directs the crew to position. The net is ready. The advanced net has a sturdy configuration. The length and depth are calculated appropriately to protect a large area where the mackerel school moves. When the signal is determined, 2 heavy steel gates are dropped, keeping the net open under the deep blue water. Then the ship begins the journey of dragging the net slowly but with great power. The mackerel are fast, flying in large schools. When they encounter the net, they try to escape but are gradually caught in the vortex of the net. At that time, the radiator sounds from the cabin resound when the machine signals that the net is full. The entire crew works together to operate the electricity collection system, gathering heavily on the deck. When the net leaves the sea, the cargo of silver mackerel hides under the sunlight, thrashing and flapping, creating an extremely lively scene. Fishermen quickly classify and put the fish in the cold storage right on the ship to keep it delicious until it reaches the port. Each sea trip can last for weeks, even months. But thanks to modern technology, catching mackerel has become much more efficient and safer than in the past. However, long-term exploitation by trawlers also raises the issue of protecting aquatic resources. Because if exploited over time, the fish population will seriously decline. Therefore, many countries have introduced strict regulations on service seasons, net sizes, and catch products to ensure sustainability. For fishermen, each trip to sea is not only a journey to seek economic benefits but also a flesh and blood bond with the ocean, a place to test endurance, team spirit, and belief in a boat full of fresh mackerel. Based on modern technology, long-distance trawlers have opened a new era for fishing. But at the same time, they remind people to appreciate and exploit the ocean properly so that it will always be an abundant source of life. When modern trawlers catch mackerel, the work on deck is always bustling and stressful. After each net is pulled up, the sailors have to work tirelessly to process the huge amount of fish. Some people quickly remove the fish from the net. Others sort them by size, while experienced fishermen check the quality of each fish to select the high-quality batch. All are done at an urgent speed because just a little delay will reduce the freshness of the fish, losing its value when brought to market. Today's onboard preservation technology is extremely modern. Cold storage is designed to reach deep cold. Some ships even have a quick freezing system to keep the natural state of the mackerel, making them look like they have just been caught from the sea when they arrive at port. This helps mackerel caught by trawlers always retain their characteristic delicious flavor, favored by processing plants and export markets. In addition, the ship is also equipped with a wastewater and waste treatment system, helping to minimize negative impacts on the marine environment, meeting strict requirements for ecological protection. With long trips, the lives of fishermen on board are also significantly improved. Restrooms, dining rooms, kitchens, and even entertainment equipment help the crew maintain their health and spirit throughout the journey far from shore. However, the sea is inherently harsh, and many times fishermen have to face big waves, strong winds, and sudden storms. At that time, the captain must make timely decisions, either to continue to maintain the direction to complete the fishing trip, or to collect the nets and avoid storms to ensure the safety of everyone. Good coordination, strict discipline, and a resilient spirit are the factors that help fishermen overcome the challenges of the ocean. A successful voyage not only brings abundant tuna but also joy and pride to those who are attached to the sea. Modern trawlers have transformed the fishing industry, making the arduous labor more productive and efficient, and increasing the commercial value of mackerel in the international market. However, for the fishing industry to survive sustainably, each fishing trip must be accompanied by a sense of conservation, only exploiting within permitted limits, complying with maritime laws and working together to preserve aquatic resources. It is the combination of advanced technology and the traditional spirit of fishermen that has created memorable journeys, where mackerel is not only a commercial product but also a symbol of the close relationship between humans and the sea for fishermen. Each trip by modern trawler to catch mackerel is not simply a labor journey but also a close attachment to the long-standing tradition of the seafaring profession. Mackerel has long been one of the important aquatic resources, not only serving domestic consumption needs but also contributing greatly to export, bringing stable income to tens of thousands of coastal households, when the boat is full of fish. The sight of silver-white mackerel stacked in layers in the cold storage is a testament to the hard work of countless people. But to have that moment, they have to go through countless difficulties. From sleepless nights in the middle of the ocean, constantly monitoring fish-finding equipment, to stressful working hours in harsh weather conditions. Modern trawlers not only help increase fishing productivity but also open up opportunities for developing the marine economy, creating more jobs for local workers. At fishing ports, when ships stock, hundreds of tons of fresh mackerel are unloaded and transported to processing plants, wholesale markets and cold storage, forming a closed supply chain. Thanks to that, the value of mackerel has continuously increased, becoming a strategic commodity in the global seafood market. Along with economic benefits, management agencies and fishermen are also deeply aware of protecting fishing grounds. Measures such as regulating mesh size, limiting fishing time, and applying selective fishing technology are introduced to avoid the depletion of fish resources. For many fishermen, compliance with regulations is not only because of the law but also comes from the awareness of preserving resources for future generations. Because the ocean is not only a place to make a living but also a common home, a precious heritage that their descendants will continue to exploit and protect. Thanks to the combination of tradition and modernity, the desire to conquer and the sense of responsibility. The tuna trawling industry has affirmed its important role in the marine economy of many countries. Each ship going far out to sea carries the hopes of fishing families and the sustainable development aspirations of the whole community. And when they return, they bring not only a full catch of tuna but also stories about the will. Determination and intense love of the sea of people. In fact, the journey of catching tuna by modern trawlers is also a delicate combination of traditional experience and the power of science and technology. The elderly fishermen with eyes that have been weathered by the wind and waves often rely on the color of the water, the direction of the wind, and the flocks of seabirds to judge where the fish are concentrated, while the younger generation relies on sonar screens, satellite positioning devices, and oceanographic data to make quick and accurate decisions. The blending of two generations on one ship not only creates high efficiency in each trip but also reflects the way the fishing industry is moving with the development of the times. When the ship cuts through the waves and the net is lower deep, the fishermen often tensely monitor the process for hours. Every vibration signal from the cable, every sound emitted from the electric winch system makes them nervous because it signals the status of the net. Whether this fishing trip is successful or not, when the nets full of mackerel are brought up, the atmosphere on deck becomes lively. The cheers mixed with the rumbling of the engines seem to blend into the music of the ocean. But there are also times when, after many days of fishing, the nets are pulled up with only seaweed and small fish, leaving behind disappointment. But that has never made the fishermen give up. The vast ocean always holds surprises, and patience and faith in tomorrow are the motivation to help them continue. On the other hand, mackerel is not only an economic resource, but also an important part of the culinary culture and life of many coastal countries. Fresh mackerel after being brought to port will go in many different directions. Some are consumed at seafood markets. Some are processed into canned products, smoked or frozen fillets for export. Appearing on dining tables around the world. That makes fishermen even more proud because their efforts not only support their families but also contribute to bringing the flavor of their homeland's sea to the world. Along with the joy, they also understand that the sea is a priceless asset that needs to be protected. On each trip out to sea, in addition to fishing, fishermen are also aware of collecting floating plastic waste, limiting direct discharge into the sea and participating in programs to conserve aquatic resources. Modern trawlers are therefore not only a means of making a living but also a symbol of the connection between people and the ocean, between the desire to conquer and the responsibility to preserve. And so, the ships follow each other out to sea, like tireless steel birds, continuing the story of the traditional fishing profession, where the sparkling silver mackerel is forever a testament to the perseverance. Courage and deep love of the sea of fishermen. Each tuna fishing trip with a modern trawler is not only a journey to make a living but also a collective labor song at sea. Each member of the crew has a separate and important role. One operates the machine to monitor the sonar system. One stands guard on the cable to ensure the net is pulled in the right direction. One is ready on deck to handle when the fish start to gather. All coordinate smoothly like a giant machine. operating smoothly in the ocean waves. Thanks to this clear division of labor, they can maintain continuous work day and night, taking shifts so as not to miss any opportunities when the tuna school moves through the sea. When night falls, the light from the ship shines on the sea surface like a lighthouse in the middle of the ocean, illuminating the dark waters. Sometimes, the ship's lights also attract schools of squid and small fish, causing the tuna to hunt and accidentally fall into the netting area. This calculation shows that fishermen not only rely on technology but also know how to take advantage of the natural habits of fish to improve fishing efficiency. After long days at sea, the ship's hold gradually fills with mackerel. The salty smell blends with the salty air of the sea breeze, and then each fisherman clearly feels the hard work is exchanged for sweet results. When the ship turns its bow towards the mainland, carrying a large amount of fresh mackerel, people's hearts are warmed by the joy of reunion. The scene of the ship docking is always bustling, the whistle sounds to signal. Relatives wait on the shore. Workers and traders are busy preparing to receive the abundant source of seafood. The mackerel is then taken to processing plants, where modern technology continues to ensure quality. From frozen fillets exported to Europe to cans of mackerel with tomato sauce familiar in the daily meals of many families. It all comes from the sweat, effort and courage of fishermen on trawlers amidst the stormy waves. Although the sea profession is harsh, it always has its own beauty, the beauty of solidarity, the will to overcome difficulties and the strong belief that the ocean will never let people down. And so, generation after generation, modern trawlers still stick to the sea day and night, continuing to write the endless story of tuna fishing. The story of people born to be attached to the vast ocean. Modern trawl fishing trips also reflect a dramatic change in people's thinking about exploiting the sea. If in the past, fishermen relied only on human strength, oars and handmade nets to make a living, now, the development of science and technology has brought them into a new era, where each ship is like a floating factory on the sea, not only stopping at fishing. Many ships are also equipped with a preliminary processing line right on the deck. After being brought up, the mackerel will be cleaned, filleted, quick frozen and then packaged directly, thereby increasing the value of the product many times over. This helps reduce storage time, preserve the freshness and natural flavor of the fish, and at the same time meet the strict standards of the international market. Therefore, fishermen are not only manual laborers but also become workers at sea, operating modern machinery systems, accessing advanced technology on par with the world. However, such modernity also entails great responsibilities. On the one hand, it helps increase exploitation productivity, bringing fishing to new heights. On the other hand, it requires fishermen to understand international law, regulations related to sea areas. Production quotas and protection of aquatic resources. Many trawling trips when going far out to sea have to face strict control from international coast guards. Therefore, compliance with the law, legal and sustainable exploitation become the guiding principles for each journey. Above all, The sea always contains many unforeseen challenges, sudden storms, waves tens of meters high, technical problems or even collisions with giant creatures under the ocean. In those dangerous moments, it is the spirit of solidarity, courage and firm belief in the sea that helps fishermen stand firm, overcome and continue their journey. And when the ship returns, each full hold of mackerel is not only an economic achievement, but also a testament to the resilience of humans in the face of nature. The silvery catches of mackerel not only enrich the fishing families, not only serve meals for millions of people, but also symbolize the harmony between intelligence, strength and love for the sea. Thanks to that, the modern trawl fishing industry is forever the pride and soul of many coastal communities, where humans and the ocean together continue to write a proud story of survival. Each modern trawl fishing trip always contains a big picture of the relationship between humans and the sea, both harsh and poetic. On the deck, the sweat of fishermen blends with the salty taste of the waves, creating a unique flavor of the sea profession that cannot be replaced anywhere else. Mackerel, a fish species famous for its agility and fierce vitality, when conquered